Welcome to School Matters. I'm Joni Kopis, and I'm very excited today to introduce you to Mr. John Thomas, our district's new business manager. So welcome, John.
Thank you, Joni.
And welcome officially to Hamilton.
Glad to be here.
So I know you were smart enough to marry a girl from Hamilton, so that's good. On some days.
I better say yes.
Yes, you better, yes. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because you have a very diverse background, I think.
Well, I've been in public education for about 17, 18 years. Prior to that, I was in the private sector for 21, 22 years.
And what'd you do there?
My last position here, I was executive vice president of sales and marketing for what's now RICO, which was Icon Office Solutions at the time. But had my public school career. Most of it was at Edgewood. I was at Talawanda last year, great district, had a good time there, but now I'm very happy and fortunate to be at Hamilton.
And at Edgewood, I know, again, we talk about business manager wearing lots of hats, but you wore several hats when you were at Edgewood as well.
Well, at different capacities. Started out as their director of community relations, and that's how we met,
right.
Obviously, and also I was in charge of the grants. And then I ventured on and spent some time as their athletic director. I was also their head boys basketball coach for 7, 8 years, and it helped a lot in the building projects that went on there at Edgewood. The OSFC, a lot like what went on here at Hamilton.
Right. I know you mentioned before you worked closely with Dr. Mann on some security issues.
Yeah, Dr. Mann was a big help to me, you know, as far as I think we were, I can't remember the exact date, back in 06, maybe 2006. I think Hamilton and Edgewood were the only two Butler County districts, and one of very few in the whole state that received the Homeland Security, Safety and Security Grant that enabled us to put a lot of programs in place. And actually, Dr. Mann should take a lot of credit because he jump-started all the safety and security things that were going on in Hamilton when I got here.
Right. And then again, doing a variety of things at Edgewood, and then last year you went to Talawanda just with one job, athletic director.
Yeah.
Which keeps, I know, is a 24-hour-a-day job.
Yeah, great people. I mean, a lot of them you remember. Dennis Malone was over there, worked with Dennis and Kelly Spivey and Tom York. All had been at Hamilton at some point in time, and just very good people, and had a great time. And they were very supportive of my move over here. They spoke very highly of coming to Hamilton.
I was going to ask you, why did you come to Hamilton, and what's been your first impression?
The first impression is exactly what I thought. This is a great district. I mean, it's a tremendous district to be at. I think Hamilton, it's just, as an outsider looking in, they're overachievers. They do a great job in a lot of areas. I think it's, though it's the largest city in the county, it still has that small town feel to it, which I think is great. It's definitely, as they say, Hamilton proud. It's a very proud district. And I have always looked at this district and said, it would be nice to work over there someday. And when the opportunity came up, I said, well, hopefully they'll choose me.
Oh, good. Well, yes, welcome. And we said that, you wear lots of hats because you're over, of course, we have directors of transportation, food service, maintenance. Of course, you do safety and grants. We have directors, but yet they still report to you.
Yes.
So you wear lots of different hats, and each day you probably flip a coin to say what I'm doing today.
Well, I'm fortunate because I have a lot of great directors,
right,
and they've got a lot of experience and they do a very good job. I'm also fortunate that the Board of Education has some great experience, and Mrs. Baker's fabulous. She's got tremendous experience. Bob Hancock. So I'm surrounded by people with lots of knowledge and experience, and they help me tremendously day in and day out. Though I do have responsibility for those certain areas, I got a lot of people to go to find out, to make sure that things need to get done the way we want them to get done.
Perfect. And talking about safety and security, I know you take the lead on that, but again, coming from a couple of different other school districts, you almost have a fresh pair of eyes as you look at our district, even though it's larger than the other ones, but you bring something, I think, to safety and security coming from different districts.
Well, it's a journey, not a destination. They're, putting together emergency management plan, it never stops.
Right.
You have to continually be looking at ways to, it's all focuses around, preventive measures, and then unfortunately, if something does happen in a crisis situation, a crisis could be something that's not really what you would consider a crisis,
right,
but it is to us.
Right.
And then, obviously we know that some crises can be very tragic. And then the recovery stage. And working with, having had a grant before and working through that, and then again, there was a lot of processes in place here. I think what we're doing now is we're looking at those processes and saying, okay, what can we continue to do to get better, which we all want to do.
Right.
I have brought a few things that that I've seen in other places, but for the most part, the fundamentals are in place. It's just a matter of just continuing to get better.
And we say, we spend a lot of time and energy, as we should, on safety and security, hoping that we never have to use it.
Absolutely, absolutely, but again,
you want to be prepared.
Again, there's a lot of facets. In some ways, the water main break that we had recently, it's not. Everybody was safe.
Right.
There was no safety and no issues there, but it was an inconvenience.
Right.
But we had to do some things and that are part of our plan. We had, there was a response, which the city came out and fixed the water main.
Right.
There was a matter of some parent reunification as they come and got their children, and some things that are part of the plan.
Luckily, we were able to get lunch in, so that wasn't an issue.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Had it been earlier in the day, then you'd have to be concerned with lunch. But timing's everything sometimes.
We partnered with the couple of the area center there and a couple others to allow us to use the restroom facilities. We also had plenty of juice and water on hand, so we were prepared.
Right. And we, of course, we're sitting in front of the beautiful Hamilton High School, and I think one thing our district is fortunate is having the new buildings. A lot of the security that some other districts may be struggling with, we've already had in place because of the new buildings.
Yeah, one thing that probably comes to mind is back in the mid 2000s when this the heightened awareness started coming in more and more. A lot of buildings, they call it lockdown 1, which means you should lock your exterior doors. Well, now with Hamilton, for example, we're always in lockdown 1. We have keyless entry to all of our buildings. You have to be buzzed in or badged in, which is a very safe and secure way to set your buildings up. That's one big part of it. There's other areas, but that comes to mind the most. All of our buildings, we have the fire doors that automatically shut. So when we have to go through a fire drill or a tornado drill or a lockdown drill, there's a lot of automated or technology parts that help us in that. Before it was the old, get the key out and here we go. So yeah, it's fantastic to have those.
Panic buttons, the ID photo tags, that helps as well. And then security cameras. I was just talking to a secretary today, and I said, "Oh, you busy?" She said, "Well, we're looking at a security camera for an incident." And so, those have obviously, been a big part in our safety and security.
And then we also have the identiphoto systems when you come in. I know at times with parents that could be like, I just was here yesterday. Why do I have to show you my license? But I think everybody, for the most part, appreciates the time and effort and energy we put into keeping our children safe and secure in our schools.
Right. It can be an inconvenience, but I think in the long run, I think people do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So, and also now the state seems to be taking a lead and getting more involved in reports that districts and schools have to turn in. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, there's assessments going on. It's called a vulnerability assessment, and they have a list of 2 or 3 pages of things that need to be the basic fundamentals and things that they want to have on file at the state. And all of our buildings have sent all of our information to the state, so we're in compliance there.
Right.
It's just now a matter of sitting down and looking at where we can maybe get better or change some things that works in that direction. But the good thing is that I think we're pretty much ahead of the game right now. It's just a matter of continuing to, like I say, get better.
Well, again, it's another pair of eyes to look at that, to pick up maybe some things we need to improve on. So you can't have too many people looking at all this.
Correct.
For everything.
And I think the other thing that's happening in that arena is been to a couple training sessions at one at Butler Tech, one at Butler County ESC, and it's really nice to see that all your area first responders, EMA, the city police, county police, county sheriff, fire, the paramedics, how many people are all in the same room together, getting the same information and working together. In this city, again, can't say enough. I was very impressed by how well our fire and our EMA, the county EMA, and the city police, and everybody wants to help.
Right. And I was just going to say, it's nice to have that good working relationship between the fire and the police departments. And we know this summer they did a SWAT exercise at the high school. I know they've gone to various buildings to do their trainings. And so that benefits us as well, because they get to know the feel of the building as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that SWAT training, I believe it was countywide, right? We had other school districts and other EMAs coming in. I think it was a county initiative, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was, the county sheriffs, Hamilton City Police, there were, and like I said, many of the first responders were there, so.
And it was great. We had our own students and our own staff too, and so they helped with some of the exercises, and I think it was a learning experience for them as well.
Correct.
So very good. And we talk about the training, with the police and the fire and doing the SWATs, but another key component, I think, is our own staff training that we do, our professional development with our staff. Yeah,
as you know, we both serve on it. We have a district safety and security team. We also have building safety teams, or emergency management teams, I guess is the terminology now. And our job is to make sure we have tornado drills, we have fire drills, and now we have lockdown drills. Which are for school intruder or threatening around your campuses.
And those are directed by the state, right? How many we have to have? Is it a fire drill each month, or?
Yeah, they're directed by the state. Now, in our lockdowns, we've chosen to do more than the state requirements. In fact, in most areas we do. And then you do reporting as to how it went. So you debrief on, how'd that go? What could we do better? Did everybody, get out of the building? If it's an evacuation out of the building, do we get out in time? If it's an in-shelter place, which a tornado would be, we were able to respond that quickly. And then lockdown, depending on which lockdown 2, or if you're into a run, hide, fight situation, the hide part is lockdown 3.
And you mentioned the monthly safety committees, and I think it's a richness in the discussion, because we'll be talking about something and the elementaries will think, well, we can do that or we can't do that. So each building gets the information, but then they think, oh, how does it work on my specific building and my location and the age of the student? So I think it's good. And then they share other ideas that they've heard from other people maybe outside the district. So again, you have that I think rich discussion on what's the best for my school and how to do it.
Tremendous amount of collaboration amongst everybody, yes.
Yeah, I think they feel good about that. And again, it's one of those things, we want to be prepared in the hopes that we never have to use it, but in the case we do, we are prepared, and we know we keep doing more and more, but you're never going to be done. But anytime there's a situation that you hear on the news, see on the news, again, as you mentioned, it heightens everyone's awareness, like, aha, we've got to do more. But you've said, research tells us, studies tells us, sometimes the public schools are the safest as opposed to other public unities.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's unfortunate if a crisis happens in any situation and anywhere.
Right.
And again, the more you can minimize your risk, the better off you are. But unfortunately, it's hard to be able to say that something's not going to happen somewhere. So.
Right. I know there was an incident, I think last year, a gentleman was coming in the front of Hamilton High School. His son was in ROTC, and he brought the air rifle home over the weekend to practice with his air rifle. And so, of course, he forgot it, sort of like leaving, your math book at home. So the father was coming in the front of the school with his air rifle, and the way the position is of the high school principal, he was looking out his office and saw, okay, of course he had on black pants, a black hoodie, right? But he was coming up the walk to turn in the air rifle, and so the principal took it upon himself to meet the gentleman outside of the building. But you can never be too sure about anything.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
It was, again, well that the position of the principal's office was there. He could look out and see what's going on. So again, safety and security, you do a lot with grants. You do a lot, like I said, overseeing transportation, maintenance. And again, you mentioned the Ohio School Facility Commission, working with a little bit with that at Edgewood and Talawanda. And if you're part of that, each school district has to have a 5-year maintenance plan, and so we've been working through that.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, I can't.
I've been pretty thorough.
Yes, it's been very impressed. The job that was done previous to me, Dr. Mann and Dr. Conkle, and of course the board's commitment to it, which is tremendous. And so we that's what we're on. That's almost a daily thing that we're reviewing that, going through that, making sure that. And the intent, obviously, is we want this investment that the city of Hamilton has made in their school system, which is we want to ensure them that that they keep the same or have the same quality schools long after John Thomas is gone and no one else is around. So yeah, I just think that, again, that 5-year plan, I can't say enough good things about the Board of Education and their vision by putting that together, not only putting it together, but overseeing and making sure it
gets done. And the beauty of that, you know, because it is pretty detailed, you know, when you stripe the parking lots, when you repave the parking lots, so it's pretty detailed. But the best part, I think everybody would like to know, is monies are already been set aside for that 5-year maintenance plan.
Right.
So that's a beauty, and again, it's part of the Ohio School Facility
Yeah, it was
Commission.
part of the whole. It was part of the whole process. You know, when all the buildings got approved,
Right.
there's a set aside fund that's set in there. So it's not like you're creating new monies or going back and ask for tax monies. It's already in place. And it ensures you that you will take care of your building. Yeah. Nothing wrong with having nice things, but there is something wrong with not taking care of the nice things you have. Yeah.
And again, it's a 5-year maintenance plan. It's pretty nice size. That's not to say, you know, there may be something that's not in there that, you know, something may break, may go bad, and then, you know, we have to take care of that as well.
You hope to catch everything. You
Right.
hope that you have everything, but yes, you know, things can pop up and that's what we're doing now. We're continually looking at it. A lot of eyes on it. So.
Right. Yeah, well, as you said, you can't have too many eyes on anything because, and I think that's the beauty. You probably can appreciate, you know, our Monday morning cabinet. There's 10 people talking, and I come from a different area that maybe you or instruction or the treasurer's office, and I think the richness, again, is having different people seeing something and coming to one conclusion.
Right.
So, well, we welcome you to Hamilton, and I know you'll do a great job. We look forward to some great things from you.
I look forward to staying here and for quite some time, and I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you again, John. Yeah. And for TV Hamilton, I'm Joni Kopis, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.